the season for vacation. Fa la 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 la.
I like that.
You like that?
What a great way to start us. Yes, please.
Okay. 'Tis the season for vacation. Fa la 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 la.
I got the fa la 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 part right.
Very nice. Very nice.
Well, since it is the season for vacationing, here with the hottest destination spots for the winter months and 2014 is editor-in-chief of Conde Nast Traveler, Pilar Guzman. Welcome.
Wow, Pilar.
Well pronounced. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
So you have a dream job. I mean, are you paid to vacation? How does this work exactly?
And can we go with you?
Exactly.
Yes. No.
Okay.
Yeah, it is kind of a dream job, I must say. It is my dream job. I think really there is, people have a lot of misconceptions about it. I am in the office. I'm out in the world, but I'm also in the office, slogging through manuscripts and, choosing photographers and managing a staff. But it is, we are paid to be the eyes and ears of the world. It's true.
My goodness.
Yeah.
What a hard life. You're like, oh, I can't. I have to go to Istanbul today, and Turkey tomorrow.
Monaco.
Yes, everywhere.
For research.
So what can readers expect from this new issues coming out?
Well, this current issue is packed. I think, one of the big surprises, and I think you're going to hear this a lot coming up in general, but also in our magazine, America is pretty hot. I mean, yes, the world is hot. I think, Istanbul, Tunisia, places like Naples, these are, people know about these destinations, but, it's beyond sort of the traditional grand tour. Our choices are always a little bit far afield. But also, I think equally interesting is right here what's in our backyard, places like Nashville and Charleston, and also, just beyond our borders in Canada, Montreal, Quebec City, places like that. I think that they're short hops away and yet a world away. Which I think is,
So you mentioned
unexpected.
Naples. So let's talk about Naples, because that's one of the hot spots for the winter and 2014.
Yeah.
Now, you think of Italy, you think Rome, Milan, but not really Naples. Why Naples?
It's true. I think, it's one of those things. Of course, Rome. I mean, how not Rome? Naples is one of these sort of slightly below the radar, and it's a slightly grittier city. It's not as, well-oiled for the consumer, for the tourist. I think it's, which is what makes it interesting, right? It's sort of like what Rome was maybe 30 years ago. And the other thing is it's the seat of sort of, the original suit makers. So these tailors who have been in the business for, hundreds of years, basically, they passed it down from generation to generation. You can go and have a suit made.
Wow.
And by the finest hands, and they spare no detail, and you can actually stay for a couple of days and get your fittings and have your suit made, and that kind of thing.
That's
I mean, it's,
glamorous.
it's a high class problem
Right.
to have to wait to have your suit made. But anyway, so those are the sort of very particular charms of a place like Naples, in addition to the food, which is spectacular, and then the day trips like Capri and Pompeii are just, little day trips away, and they have just the most beautiful, museum of antiquities, that it's just you can get up close. It's not like going to the Louvre where the Mona Lisa
Pilar.
Glasses. Yeah.
Take me there now, Pilar.
Yeah.
We can
Take me
carry your
there.
bags. Don't worry.
I'm not going. I've been, but I'm not going.
Okay, well, let's talk about Istanbul, Turkey then.
Yeah.
We know that it's known for its amazing markets and all the things you can get there. But why is it a must-see or must-visit city for
it's
this
sort
year?
of, how things are just sort of in the air. We've been hearing, we poll a lot of influencers in our world, but, designers, artists, people in the fashion world, and we have been hearing that, this has just been, it's been a perennial destination, but lately it's for the fabrics, for the texture, for the sort of intersection of all of the major religions and cultures, just where it is in the world. It is sort of sits at the intersection of all the great cultures, and so you get this incredible offering of food and textiles and, everything. Just history. It's just so beautiful.
Okay, let's talk about Ojai, California.
Yes,
all
on the other end of the spectrum.
Istanbul to Ojai.
Yes.
Now, all the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills go to Ojai.
Well, because it's a big spa destination for the ladies.
I was wondering why they're always going to Ojai.
It's, it has, it's emerged from its roots as this kind of hippie destination, which it was. I grew up in Southern California, and it was the kind of place you'd take a road trip and you'd have like an avocado sprout sandwich kind of thing. And there's an outdoor bookstore, this place called called Bart's Books, which is great. But now they have, you know, the Ojai Valley Inn and Spa, which has just been newly renovated. They have this incredible restaurant, which is all, you know, it's like high spa food, so you don't feel like you're starving.
Okay.
And then they have, of course, great spa and hiking, and you know, and they're rooted in sort of the Native American tradition. So it's, you know, it's sort of chic and it's kind of hippie.
Yes,
You know?
hippie chic.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So, and the food, it's got a good food scene now, you know, but no big chains, no big
What
box
kind of food?
anything. It's kind of California cuisine.
Okay.
But it's healthy but delicious, you know, farm to table, but really, really great. You don't feel, again, you don't feel like you're starving.
Okay, that works for me.
Yeah.
Now the hit ABC show Nashville. I mean, everybody's been
everybody
going.
wants to go now.
I know. Has that drawn a lot of attention to
It's
Nashville,
cute. You
Tennessee?
know, a lot of these southern cities that, you know, have typically been slightly off radar are coming up. Charleston, obviously, people are talking about a lot, but Nashville is this other one where, again, you know, in addition to the music scene and great bars, and you know, there's now an emerging, you know, hotel and restaurant scene, which is really fun. So it's a great food town now.
Well, what do you think is makes it sing the most?
You know, I think it's the combination. It's so much fun that you go hear music, and then you have a bite to eat. It's just there's a kind of joyous atmosphere to
And
it.
I think the other thing is they have a lot of live music
Though,
there.
yeah,
which
well,
a
that's
lot,
what
a
I
lot of people
mean.
love
Yeah,
going
exactly.
to see.
It's
And
like
there's
the
a
new-
lot of open mic.
Right.
yeah.
That's why Lolo and I are going.
Yes.
Grab the open mic.
Gonna take it on the road.
Take it on the road, exactly. But it's like the new Austin, Texas in many
Exactly.
ways for that reason. Yeah.
Actually, we have a story coming up in our March issue, which is sort of beyond Marfa, because Marfa got a ton of attention, but sort of, you know, following the Rio Grande, and you know, it's a Texas that you don't know. Texas is, you know, outside of the major cities, you don't really hear too much about it.
true.
But I do think that we are falling in love with our own country again. It's as exotic as, you know, Turkey.
Yeah, we're buying American.
That's right.
Okay, let's talk about the Turquoise Trail.
Yes.
In New Mexico. That sounds so glamorous.
And again, I think you're hearing a theme here. It's sort of, you know about Santa Fe, you know about Taos, you know about Albuquerque, but what are the little towns in between? And really, you can go on sort of collecting trips. You know, you can go to all of these little villages in
and
between
can
some
you
of the
actually
bigger.
pick up turquoise?
You know, it's not exactly
It's
like
not that literal.
Just walk
Is it
along
on
the
it
road.
like
diamonds.
like gingerbread crumbs?
Exactly.
Is that just
Not
my
quite like
fantasy?
that, but actually you can pick up sort of, you know, interesting rock specimens. So it's a good place for families because there is this, you know, the small town charm, and you know, it's a great road trip and great hiking, but also you can buy, and you know, you can go on jewelry buying
every
expedition.
little souvenir stores has the turquoise there in the shops, right? It's
Exactly,
like everywhere
exactly.
you
And
turn.
but you know, it's sort of what's so under their noses is very exotic to us.
That's true.
You know.
Now, a lot of the places you've mentioned, there's a lot of little spots within that
Yeah.
place. So do you recommend that once people go to these destinations that they travel around to the different cities or
Absolutely.
sites?
Absolutely. I think, you know, as a magazine, we provide inspiration and hopefully lots of inside tips, but really it's about arming the traveler with the confidence to kind of go off script.
Okay.
I love it.
But now, if someone is just looking for like a last-minute quickie trip,
Yeah.
what are some of the
Yeah.
options if they can't go all the way to Turkey?
Sure. Yeah, no, exactly. And I think totally fair question. I mean, I think Florida, the Keys, that's something that we are interested in. And I think it's also having a moment as people, I think the world is craving that authentic experience. And there's still these, you know, Hemingway, Key Largo and beyond is sort of, you know, these little fishing huts where you can get a great sandwich, little hotel, sit on the beach, have a beer. You know, it's relaxing, it's easy, it's not fussy. Also, I mean, my favorite is always the Mayan Riviera, Mayakoba to Tulum, that whole stretch I think is magical, and lots of big properties are opening up, but there are also Airbnb is another explosion of possibilities as far as places to stay, because sometimes if a place only has 2 properties, they're booked up, you're done.
Months
right?
in advance,
But
yeah.
now that area is really growing, so I would, you know, that's a great destination as well.
Now let's talk about travel resolutions. I know
Yeah.
you feature them in the
Yes.
current issue. What is a travel resolution?
You know, it's-
What ones should we be making? What are yours? Talk to us about it, Pilar.
Here's what I think. I think that people freeze when it comes time to, you know, oh my gosh, it's my kid's vacation. I didn't plan anything. I'm just going to scramble and do that package thing that I did last year. And I think that, at least for me and for the people that I've been talking to, it's sort of push yourself a little bit,
Okay.
you know, and think, where have I always wanted to go? Or maybe even think, where has my significant other always wanted to go? And actually just be brave. And, you know, sometimes you don't have enough time to, you want a direct flight. And maybe that just narrows your universe a little bit. Where can I fly that feels far away but is a direct flight? And sometimes it's right here in the States or to Canada. Sometimes it is, it's not that far actually. If you get on an overnight flight to go, obviously if you have the budget for it.
Right,
these are all budget, but that's why I keep emphasizing America, is that you have this great feeling of being far away in New Mexico if you're an East Coaster, and it's a direct flight. It's no big deal.
Big deal.
And sometimes these second cities are much cheaper to fly to.
Okay, so what's your New Year's travel resolution then?
My New Year's travel. Oh gosh, that's a good one. I actually am dying to go to Morocco.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's beautiful there.
that's a resolution. And I'm actually I'm going to New Hampshire and Vermont. A little road trip that I've been wanting to do for.
I'm actually dying to go to Morocco too.
So when are we leaving?
Why don't we go
we'll be
together?
taking off.
We should really make sure that we could have 3 in a row.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like
the
that.
3-for-1 deal. How about that?
You just let us know. We'll put it on our calendar.
We'll fly on miles.
There you go. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you so much for having me.
And you're watching Arise Entertainment 360.